Hey guys, another video for our modern Japanese architecture playlist. This is a fairly typical modern housing estate in Japan. A couple of things worth noting is one is that the houses almost take up the entire block, very little garden or yard at all. The other one is look at how many solar panels they have. So not every house, but a high percentage of the houses have solar panels. Quite often the solar panels will cover the entire roof. Other times, as you can see, they'll cover parts of the roof, and just by chance at the end of the street happens to be a huge solar farm. And this is quite common in Japan. Those of you who've seen our videos taken from the aeroplane as we fly around, that's a really common scene, to look down and see solar panels all over the place. Really common. So having showed you that, let's have a look from the ground, and we'll go for a bit of a drive up and down those same streets. So as you can see, almost no space at all from the house to the street, and usually it's just enough for 2 or maybe 3 cars. Another thing you might notice is occasionally people have carports to protect their cars from the weather, but more often than not they don't. So we did actually make a video about that in the past. It's a strange thing, they don't seem to worry about it. The cars are never allowed to get very old anyway, so if they're just sitting out in the weather day after day, they don't really worry about it, because after 3 or 4 years, they might replace it. We actually know a guy, a dentist, who was telling us he'd bought a new Maserati because his other Maserati was getting old, and we knew it wasn't that old. How old is it? 3 years old. Had to replace the Maserati with a new one because the other one was 3 years old, and that's not unusual here. Replace cars that are only 3 or 4 years old. Quite common. So they don't seem to worry about it, just leave them parked outside. Bicycles are the same, we've showed you that before too. So almost no yard at the front at all, just a bit of concrete usually to park the cars. Maybe 2 spaces for the residents and 1 space for visitors. Often they'll have one little space off to one side where visitors can park. Because as you can see, no parking on the street is allowed in estates like this, because the roads aren't wide enough. So it's nice, isn't it? You can see nice and clean and tidy. Those houses, we've showed you the construction of these houses before. There's no brick. It looks like brick. It's not brick. It's just the same. It's cladding, basically. They make a wooden frame, and then the cladding it's polystyrene foam and aluminium is all it is. And it just comes in different shapes and different colors and different textures. And they use that to make the houses look like they do. But basically they're all made of the same thing. It's all aluminium, polystyrene foam and plastic, and lots of silicon. So if you're interested in that, you haven't seen that before, on our building modern Japanese architecture playlist, we've showed houses being constructed out of that material. And that's all of these are the same. You'll often see a house in Japan. Sometimes they do a really good job. It really looks like brick, and you go up and tap on it, and it's the same stuff. It's the aluminium and polystyrene. So those houses on the right there, that's actually the back of the house. So the street we went down previously, it showed you the front of that house. So those houses on the right there, that's their back garden. And as you can see, not much bigger than their front garden. Usually just a little space. Sometimes they've just got plastic fake grass in it, or concrete or stones, just to keep it low maintenance. And here's another thing, this is the middle of the school holidays, and it's 12 o'clock, it's the middle of the day. School holidays, beautiful day, it's about 18 degrees, beautiful day outside. We didn't see one person, did we? And that's really normal. You can drive around on the weekends, school holidays, pretty much any time, and you don't see people outside terribly much. They're either off doing something or they're inside hiding. You don't see them outside relaxing and lazing around or having fun. It's just not what they do. Anyway, there it was. More videos coming soon.